everyone. Happy Saturday. It's me, New York vocalist Benita Charles, for another episode of Singing Tips Live. I wonder how you're doing this weekend. I hope you're having a great one. It is Saturday evening, a great time for a singing tip show. So I thought I'd come on and see what's going on with everyone and bring some value to you. How are you? I see I have someone join. I can't see who it is, but thank you so much for coming in. Welcome to Singing Tips Live. My name is Benita Charles. Every week I come in and I give singing tips. Hey, Martha! Hi, my friend. And a very happy birthday to your son. I hope he's having a great birthday celebration. Thanks for coming in. And this is the Singing Tips Live show with me, your host, Benita Charles. And hi, Ivory. Thanks so much for coming in. Yes, I know. We finally caught each other. Thanks so much for coming in, darling. But this is Singing Tips Live. Now, don't let the title fool you. This is not, we're not going to be talking about techniques, singing tips, but it's artist development tips to help artists take their careers to the next level. Now, the thing about this show is, even though it's designed for artists, a lot of people have found value because a lot of the tips are universal. We talk about on the show everything that happens in front of the stage, everything that happens behind the stage. But today, this is, I would say, a universal tip show because today I want to talk about preparing for 2020. So we're in October. We're approaching the end of October. October starts the fourth quarter of 2019. So I think it's a really good time to start thinking about the future. 2020 will be here before you know it. I mean, we're already almost out of October. Once Halloween hits, it's pretty much a wrap. Sorry to give you the bad news, but once Halloween hits, then it's Thanksgiving, then Christmas, then the New Year. So what better time to start thinking about the next year, the new year, which is a big number, 2020. I mean, I can remember 2020 seems so far away. I don't know about you guys, but it's here, you know. So I ran across something on YouTube that I thought is kind of a really good approach to 2020. So it's from a YouTube show by Bob Baker. It's called Marketing Plans for Artists and Musicians. That's the title of the show. But I liked the idea that he had because I think that it's a good approach for 2020. So one of the things he talked about on the video is about ideas. Now, you know that ideas are the things that you can create your products, you can create services. I mean, when you think about it, if you look around you, everything started as an idea. It started as a thought, and then someone just made it happen. So it's really good to have a list of ideas. Now, I always have ideas. But the thing about what Bob said is you want to take the ideas out of your head and put them down on paper. So that's the first thing you need to do is anytime you have an idea, you should have like a little notebook. And he said he's old-fashioned. He likes pen and paper, and I do too. But of course, you know, you can use on your phone, there's like a little note app. You can just put notes on there. But I honestly like to write things down because there's something about writing things down. It just kind of seals it in your brain. So when you have an idea, it's best to write your ideas down. And that's the first thing. Write down your ideas. And he said this is the first step to bring them into the world. So you want to write your ideas down. And, you know, 2020 is coming up. So I'm pretty sure there's some great ideas you have based on what you want to do, based on your goals, based on your dreams. So write them down. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is to craft a plan from the list. And he was saying, I like what he said, don't let it overwhelm you, which is so true, because I have so many ideas a lot of times, and it's almost like I don't know where to start. But, you don't want to overwhelm yourself. So just pick one or a couple of things. Don't, I have a list of 30, that's too much. And you want to be consistent with those things. So, and it helps to have a narrow list. And so a couple of things that he said about consistency. The first thing is, as artists, you want to hone your craft, or whatever you are trying to do. You want to, if you're a cook, you need to cook. If you're a writer, you need to write. If you're a singer like me, you need to sing. But just hone your craft, make it great. The second thing is, for artists, he said that, you want to connect with your fans. And I feel like that's what I do with my Singing Tips live show. You guys show up every week. I really appreciate that. Now, this is an important thing, the next thing that he said, and that really made me want to do this on my show. Take out your calendar for the year, and from your ideas, you want to start to categorize them into segments. Like, for instance, for romance, if you have ideas about romance, you might want to do something for Valentine's Day, because that's, the time for love. Halloween's coming up. You might, I know one year I did like a Halloween show, and I had a contest, a costume contest, and everyone loved it. It was really cool. But it's those kind of things. Now that, to me, because I always had a list of ideas, but I never thought to do that. Like, that really, to me, sets it apart, because this will allow you to develop a plan of action for your ideas. If you have, like, for instance, I know one year for Valentine's Day, I was thinking I wanted to do singing telegrams. That's an idea. So that idea, I would put that in February. But to me, I think this is the most important part to this whole broadcast, because, as I said before, I always had ideas, but I would have never thought to do that. And he has an online course, and he said this is like the step that he gives his students at the end of his course. He makes them do this map, and it maps out their ideas. And he said the students at first, they don't really like it, but after they do it, it really, they really are grateful, because, it forces them to really take these ideas out of their head, put it on paper, and then have a plan of action. So to me, I think that's the most important part of this whole journey is, you have your ideas, you write them down, but when you put it on that map for the year, then it really allows you to take it to the next level. Now, 2020 is coming up. You might have an idea to plan for the new decade that's coming up, or you might have, one of your ideas might be pertaining to the season that's coming up. So I just thought that was and that's another thing he was saying, that, sometimes this helps you to allow your ideas to spread out through the year, as opposed to having a couple of months, everything happen in a couple of months, and then you don't have anything going on. And also, it helps you to formulate your plan of how you want to approach your ideas. So to me, that was the most important step to the whole process. Now, from another video that I love and I watch all the time, there's he's passed away, but he was a self-help guru for success, and his name is Earl Knightingale, and he has a video called "The Greatest Secret in the World." So I'm not going to give that away, so you might want to watch that. But one of the quotes that he had is, "Success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea." And he talks about, creating ideas to create your future, and create ideas to develop services and products and serve people. And one of the principles is when you serve people, the money will come. So you think about the service first. You think about how can I bring value to people? What idea do I have? What product can I create? What service I can create? And he talks about how that is how you build your wealth. That is how you make your money, is serving people. And what can you develop? What can you create? So these ideas are gold mines. These ideas are the things that can start your business, or you could create a product or service that no one else is doing. Everything, as I said before, everything that's happened, that you look around, these were ideas. These were things that people thought about. Oh, maybe I could create this, or maybe I could create that. Sometimes it comes out of they were looking for something that they couldn't find, and they just created it themselves. But it's these ideas. And have you ever had a time where you had an idea and you didn't act on it, but then down the line someone else did something similar, or they did the same thing, and you said to yourself, wow, I thought of that, but they acted on it and you didn't. And to me, this map, this yearly map, is your roadmap to taking those ideas out of your head, putting it down, and then developing that plan. So this is a short one this week, but I really thought that was, to me, the key is that strategy to ideas. You can have your list of ideas. You can, for days, you can just have ideas after ideas, but you have to implement. And to me, oh, hi, someone just waved at me. You have to implement it. And to me, that map, that yearly map of putting those ideas in various parts of the year, around the season, around events like holiday, Thanksgiving's coming up, Black Friday. You might, if you have a product, you might start thinking about your Black Friday sales. So you have those ideas and you put that in November. But I just thought that was such a great idea. Great idea. My grandmother used to say, idea. That's a good idea. But you never know from these ideas what could spark from that, what you could create, what you can, what can happen, And also, this is how you build your wealth, by creating things and putting it out there. So I thought this was such a great strategy, and it's something that I never thought about. Like, I've always had my ideas and I wrote them down. But this actually takes the next step is, well, how can I apply these ideas and what can I do with these ideas? So I encourage you. The video is Marketing Plans for Artists and Musicians by Bob Baker. He has a lot of other great videos. He also has a lot of positive thinking and personal development videos. So he does a variety of different videos. Also, the other video that I recommend is The Greatest Secret in the World by Earl Knightingale. And I really like this video because he tells you what the secret of success is and what the secret of all these people who are wealthy. He studied wealthy people to find out how do they differ from us, and how do they think? They think in a different way. So I thought these were really great videos, and something to think about for 2020. It's time to start thinking about what's your plans if you haven't already. I think this is a good time as opposed to waiting a little later in the year, because if you start now, you'll be well into doing what you need to do in the new year. And that's what I found, as opposed to waiting at the last minute. But it's good to start now. It's good to start thinking about it, even if you don't want to start now, but it's good to start thinking about it. And your ideas, to me, that's the first step, is having those ideas. Try to think of something that no one's thought about, or you can try to think of an idea of making things better. But you got to put those down and put them in the place where you can find them. But to me, the most important step is that roadmap that you will have established for the year. And it just makes you, I just feel like it makes you more organized, and you'll probably get more ideas from, I'd say be creative, think of creative ways of how you can use that roadmap. It's all about unleashing your creativity, and those ideas, it comes from your imagination, Dream, like I like one thing that Earl Knightingale said in his video. I think I wrote it down. Let's see, where is it? Be of service, build, work, dream, create your products and service. And this is how you build your wealth, by using your imagination and coming up with those dreams and ideas. It all starts with an idea. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea. And I really believe that. So I hope this was helpful. I'll do a little recap. So today's show is about preparing for 2020. We might do some more shows coming up as we get closer to the new year. But I think it's a good idea to start now, to start thinking about what does 2020 look like for you? Like, what do you want to see in the new year? What are your hopes and dreams, and what do you want to create? And it all starts with your ideas, your imagination. And sometimes, I know for me, sometimes I just get ideas, it's kind of like my songs a lot of times. Sometimes it's just inspiration. Sometimes it's me sitting down and really trying to think. I'll give you an example that I was on Facebook recently, and I was just listening to, someone had some music playing on there, but it wasn't really singing. It was just like instrumental. And all of a sudden, I started getting a melody with it, and I created like a verse and like a little chorus. And that was just random. And I said, wow, that's really cool. So I took my recorder and I saved that vocal idea. And, I'll eventually make a song out of it, or I could add it to something else. But that's just one of the things that happens, like when you're creative and when it's inspiration. So when you get those ideas, like for me, if it's a vocal idea, I put it on tape. If it's something else, I write it down. And that's the first step, is you want to write your ideas down. And once you write it down, you take it out of your head, you put it on paper, and you bring it forth. That's the step. That's the start of bringing it forth. Then you want to make sure you put all your ideas in one place, or put them where you can find them. Electronically, you can put them on your computer. If you have a notebook, you like written, you put it in your notebook. But you want to have a place for all your ideas. And then you want to craft a plan from your list. And one step that I thought was really great from Bob Baker's video, Marketing Plans for Artists and Musicians, is you take your calendar out for the year, and then you start placing your ideas at various points throughout the year. Like, for instance, I said before, if you had something dealing with romance, Valentine's Day, that's something that might be great for Valentine's Day. I used to do a toy drive for Toys for Tots. That's a holiday. And last year I released a single on Christmas that would be, if I had an idea about the holiday, I would put that in December. Something for the spring, the spring is a new season. So things like that. You can, so throughout the course of the year, you want to spread it out so that you have something coming up throughout every point of the year. He suggested having 1 to 2 ideas throughout every month, and then, of course, with your normal things that you do. But it just keeps everything fresh. It keeps it interesting, and it keeps you organized. Like, you know exactly when you're going to do and what. And this also, I think, it helps to execute your ideas. Because if you just have them on a list and you just store them somewhere and never do anything with them, they don't go anywhere. Next thing you know, an idea you had, you see someone else release it. You see someone else do it. And you say to yourself, wow, I had that idea. So you don't want that to happen. Your ideas is what builds your wealth. When you create your own new products or services, that's how you build your wealth. That's how you make your money, because when you give a service to someone, in exchange you get money. And that's the thing that Earl Knightingale said in his video, The Greatest Secret in the World. A lot of people have it backwards. They feel like, well, I'll just make a lot of money, I'm successful. But he said it's just the opposite. You're successful when you serve someone, and that's what brings that money, and that's what brings that success. So his quote is, "Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideas." So don't sleep on your ideas. You never know. You might have the next cure for something, or you might have the next hot product, or you might have the next service that could help someone. So you want to make sure you get those ideas down, keep them in a safe place, and also pull out your calendar and map out your ideas. So that is today's lesson, is about preparing for 2020 and getting your ideas out there. So I have a few special announcements. What I do with them? Friday, November 1st, Preacher Man and the Revival will be at the Hideout. That is in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, at 8415 Fifth Avenue. And also on the show is the band Butterbrain. It's a really great band, electric. They have a huge horn section. We played with them a couple of months ago in Queens. So this is at the Hideout, and that's November 1st. Sunday, November 3rd, from 9:30 to 12:30, the Benita Charles Trio will be part of the New York Marathon Entertainment. So we'll be providing entertainment for the runners, giving them encouragement and telling them to never ever give up. Last year it was so funny because I think we must have sang "Never Ever Give Up" for like 20 minutes straight, and finally my guitarist said, "Benita, I can't play anymore. My finger's about to fall off." It was really cold that day. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." But it was so great. The audience loved it, and they were singing along with us, and it was good. So they wanted us back. We will be at the Yaffa Coffee location, and that's 4423 4th Avenue in Brooklyn. And it will be a great time. So if you're in the Brooklyn area, you live in Brooklyn, and come on down and enjoy the music and encourage the runners. It's such a cool thing because, you know, all of a sudden you just see a sea of runners, and it's just constant, and it's just amazing. You see all ages, races, and levels, you know, people who are advanced, people who are beginner, people who, you know, look like they're having fun, people dressed in costumes. It's really great. So come on out. Saturday, November 16th at 8, Preacher Man and the Revival will be at Rubalad. Really cool spot. Exclusive. So if you're interested, you have to RSVP by email at rubalad@outlook.com for the secret location. Friday, December 13th, Preacher Man and the Revival will be at the Shrine, which is a hot spot in Harlem, from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. We return to our roots because we performed there a lot back in the day. Tuesday, December 31st, 11 p.m., Preacher Man and the Revival returns to Rubalad to ring in the new year. This has become a tradition for us. So the last several years, we've been ringing in the new year at Rubalad. So come on out, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's celebrate 2020 together. But yeah, so got a lot of things going on. If you missed anything, all of this is on my website, benitacharles.com. Click on shows. So all this information is there. I hope you guys could come on out. I hope to see you next Sunday for New York Marathon Entertainment. It's going to be great. As I said, come on, go to my website, benitacharles.com. It has all of the information. It has the map of where it is. I hope this was helpful to you guys. It's time to start thinking about 2020. Get those ideas out of your head, put them down, pull out your calendar, map out your ideas according to the seasons, according to the time of the year, and make it happen. You know, you may be sitting on a gold mine, so don't sleep on your ideas. And I really love this idea in terms of the calendar, because that's something that I never did. I mean, I always had a list of ideas, and I still have them, but never really thought to take the calendar out and place them where appropriate parts of the year and spread it out. As Bob Baker, the video is called Marketing Plans for Artists and Musicians. It's on YouTube. I recommend The Greatest Secret of the World, Greatest Secret in the World, Earl Knightingale. It's a really good video, and it really helps you think about taking your life to the next level, and with this secret. So I'm not going to tell you the secret so that you can see the video. I don't want to give the secret away, but it's a good one. So if you get a chance, check out Earl Nightingale's The Greatest Secret in the World on YouTube. As I said before, this idea that I had about the calendar came from Marketing Plans for Artists and Musicians by Bob Baker. He has a lot of books out. He's written books on entertainment. He's written books on creativity and inspiration. So he's one to watch. So thank you guys so much for coming in. Hi, Larry. Thanks so much. Ernesto, God bless you. Thanks so much for coming in. If I missed anyone, I didn't see. Let's see. Oh, Regina, hi. Thanks so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Ronnie, Henry. Oh, my goodness. All my friends are here. So thank you guys so much. This is Singing Tips Live. My name is Benita Charles. I hope that this was helpful as you start to think about 2020. It's coming up soon, guys. I mean, this is the fourth quarter. So we'll be doing some other things this coming up regarding the new year. But I think it's good to start thinking about it now. It's never too early, because before you know it, it'll be here. So thank you guys so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I hope you have a great week ahead. And I look forward to seeing you again on the next Singing Tips Live. Before I go, does anyone have anything they'd like to share? If you have a business or product or service or an idea and you'd like to share it now, please feel free. I like to encourage that. I don't want to do all the talking. Oh, if you have any show ideas, if you have any ideas of what you'd like for us to discuss, please let me know. I'm very open to new things. So let me know what you think, guys, and I will see you on the next Singing Tips Live next week. You know what? I'm not sure about next week, only because I'll be preparing for the marathon, or may do something Sunday. So not sure about next week, but I'll definitely keep you posted on that. But I will see you soon, if not next week or maybe Sunday. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I'll see you next time on Singing Tips Live.